A slightly different video today. As you'll know, as the world knows already, James Bond, and which is the latest release from Stern, has been, shall we say, there's a bit of information out there. Now, as I understood it, the release was meant to be last week. It was now meant to be this Tuesday. It may well now be put back until Thursday. However, some images of the playfields, it looks like some of the Stern official images have made it into the public domain. So I felt it only fair that we have a look at it, and using a little bit of knowledge, which I may or may not have about the game, discuss the shots and discuss the shots that I know. Now, I don't claim to know 100% of these shots and everything about it, but I've got a really good steer on 90% of it. So you'd have to excuse the sort of, I guess, the mishmash nature of this video. So what I've done is I've downloaded a picture of the playfield into Paint. It's no more fancy than that. I'll show you right now. There it is. There's the playfield. And what I'll be doing is, with the help of my magic pen, showing you what shot goes where and what it all does. Okay, hopefully this works. So first of all, this is obviously a George Gomez game, and with that in mind, I've got a little inkling as to what the skill shot might be. So first of all, I want to draw your attention to the top middle of the playfield and this gate just here. I believe that that gate is going to allow the ball to go that way. For reasons I'll explain later, I don't think the gate has anything to do with the ball going around the orbit and going up there. I believe that travels behind that gate. So I think your initial skill shot is going to be plunged from here. It's going to go up the lane, loop over into here, and then you'll see it's going to either take this path, or that path, depending on which one's lit. There's your skill shot. Pop bumpers are down here. It's going to bounce around in there. That's going to be your most basic of the skill shots. However, much like Deadpool and much like Batman 66, I reckon if you hold that left flipper button down, this gate will open, allowing you to plunge the ball all the way around, past the gates, past the pop bumpers, all the way around here. I'm guessing at this point, by the way, onto this flipper, and then through there. I think that's one of your skill shots. Now, don't be surprised at all if there's another skill shot where it drops down here and something like that happens. It's turned into a little face there, isn't it, really? Anyway, don't worry about that. I think that's going to be the skill shot. The left flipper button. We know Gomez likes that. I don't think it'd be a really good skill shot. Looks like a satisfying one. I'm looking forward to playing that. And I've got to say, I've already said it already. I'm in for one of these games. I think it's a really exciting layout as well. Very Gomez-like. Those ramps do have a Batman 66 feel about them, don't they? Which, of course, that same ramp was used twice on Deadpool. Okay. I'm gonna, as things pop into my mind, because I've got a lot of information about this game, I'm gonna go through it. But you'll have to excuse me if I don't quite go through systematically. I end up jumping back to bits and pieces. Let's go with the DB5, the Aston Martin. Now, the thing about the Aston Martin is this is on the Pro as well. So I will let you know what's stripped down. We're looking at the premium playfield here. Now, as I understand it, you hit the ball with the left flipper, and it goes along here, and it then goes up, I guess in the same way that sort of like the helicopter ramp in Jurassic Park, then vertical up kicker into this wire form and down on to that flipper. I think it's a good shot. It looks like a good shot. Obviously, somewhere underneath the car, there's going to be a solenoid to help kick it back up there. I wonder if that's part of the skill shot. Might what are you doing?
I'm going Medieval Madness.
You can't play Medieval Madness.
Why not?
Because I'm doing a video.
Are you? I didn't realise, mate. Sorry.
Well, it's going to be a bit noisy, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'll turn it off. Is it right? Godzilla?
No. No, you can't, because Godzilla's right there. Without being funny, if that's
Oh, yeah,
noisy,
sorry,
if
yeah,
that's too noisy,
gonna be
that's
just
going to be
noisy,
noisy
isn't it?
as well, isn't it? All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just doing a video. So I'll see you in a little bit.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing a video. Why don't you go and play Deadpool or something?
I'll be honest, mate. I've had Deadpool at the house for a little while, so I'm kind of Deadpool now. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll go and make a cup of tea.
Make a cup of tea.
Yeah. What is it? What is he doing?
I'm doing a video on James Bond. James Bond
okay,
pinball.
right.
I'm showing the people the shots on James Bond pinball.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
And I'll be back in a minute with a couple of cups of tea.
Excuse me, I'll probably edit that out, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so where were we? Sorry, let me bring that screen back up again, and pardon the interruption.
Did you say James Bond?
Oh my God!
Which?
I said James Bond.
The
James Bond, yeah.
That's the new one.
It's the new one. It's not GoldenEye.
That's not GoldenEye.
That's not GoldenEye.
I didn't think this had been announced yet.
What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing?
Come on, show me. What's going on? What's up with this then?
Well, it's a new pinball machine.
Well, yeah, I know. It's a new Stern. Have you? What? You've got a picture there. I didn't think it had been. Have you got footage?
I've got no footage.
You've got no footage.
I've got no footage.
No footage.
No
But
footage.
what about photographs? Any photographs?
I've got no photographs.
So there's nothing been published at all.
Well, this is the official Stern. This is the official Stern.
That's not a very good release, is it?
Well, they've not released it yet. It gets released in 2 days' time. Okay, so I'm just showing the people the shots ahead of the release.
How are you doing that with no footage?
Because I know a little bit about the shots.
How
It doesn't. Sit down and just shush. Okay,
shush.
Just
you
shush.
explain what's going on.
Sorry, I do apologise.
Talk to me.
I am sorry. Right, okay. I'm trying to show everybody.
Okay.
Bloody hell, mate.
Right,
Okay, I've
Don't
lost
touch
me.
my knees again.
I'm not. Goodness gracious. Okay, right then. Beg your pardon. Right, let's get back to it. See, I've lost me bloody thing now. I don't know what you're doing here. Right, okay.
Well, you got your right, okay.
I'm trying to show people on the thing. Okay, right. I'm showing people on the playfield and I'm using the magic pen. Okay. All right then. Now, the next shot that I am going to discuss, once we've discussed what happens when you go to Aston Martin, is this shot from the left flipper. It's going to go up here. Now, this is your villain shot. Look, villain mode. It's going to go round there. We like this. All the way round. Back through. And down onto there. Leaving you with the right flipper shot. Which I think is a good one. All right. So I really like that. I think that's a good shot there. Now, there is also another shot, which, again, I'm not sure it's hittable from the right flipper. Maybe you'll be able to sneak it in there. But more likely from the left flipper, which is going to travel under the ramps and go back into the pops. Good shot there. You can see all the villains are going along here. There's obviously tons of stuff to collect. And I think the one thing I do like about this, very much got an old style feel about it. You haven't seen the cabinets or anything, obviously.
I haven't seen anything about the game.
Okay, right. Well, the cabinets, the artwork leaves a little bit to be desired. But so what I'm just talking through the shots here, right? And what
I'm quite impressed with it. You got the DB Aston Martin DB there. You've got the missile at the top.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute. We'll get to the missile. Okay.
Okay. It's the first time I've seen it. So we got Spectre across the back there.
Yes, Spectre. Spectre across the back. Now he likes that. He on the backboard. Gomez likes to do that. I'm a bit of a Gomez fanboy. I think it's fair to say.
I'd have never guessed.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Right. A couple of things I just want to deal with here. Lower down on the playfield. Let's get into this section here. Okay. Now, what you have here is you're looking at the picture. You can actually see a couple of divers fighting under the sea. Mm-hmm. That is not visible straight away in the game. That's a blacked out bit of glass. So in many respects, almost like the hologram in Creature,
right,
that reveals itself. However, I'm not sure that happens on the Pro. This is the Premium. Let me just show you what's going to happen here.
Can we zoom in on that at all? Can we have a little closer look on that?
You probably can. There you go. I've just got there we go. So it's just there. Okay. So it's this section here. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be hitting the ball along here. It's going to hit off here and it's going to pop down into a little scoop.
Yep.
Okay. I believe you do that 3 times and you get a multi-ball.
So it says eject advances jetpack lights complete for multi-ball.
Yes, absolutely. So, what happens is it will eventually, well, eject. Funnily enough, it will eject out of there as it will do for any scoop sort of thing. What happens then? I don't know. It's basically going to spring out into the playfield somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Don't know. Couldn't tell you on that. I've got as much information as I can, but yes, the ball definitely locks over in this section here, which is really good. Now let's just get on, and you can actually see just on this section here, you can actually see where the shot is is very much telling you along there that it's going to pop up into there. Okay, let's deal with this left flipper just slightly, the upper flipper, because there's something. I think there's a number of really good shots here. I don't know how many straight away you're gonna be able to do. The obvious shot is along here.
Yeah, straight up that ramp. That's a given, I think, isn't it?
Okay, it is, and that is obviously then going to follow the same ball path as the other ramp and loop back down to there, which is nice. However, there's something else going on here, which I'm just going to zoom in now. Can you just see just there at the top of that ramp? See that there? Now have a look. Now I've pointed it out. It looks like a little hatch.
It does, doesn't it?
That looks like a little hatch. I think something happens there. The ball's going to drop down there or something like that, hit it a certain amount of times. It will cease to be a normal type ramp. I think this game's mech heavy.
Do you think is it possible it's some sort of switch? No, it's not.
No, it'd be an opto or something there, wouldn't it be? If all they wanted to do was register the ball, there'd be something else there.
It does look slightly strange because it's at the top of a ramp. You'd have thought if a ball had enough momentum to make it up the ramp, then it wouldn't fall down into something.
Absolutely, it looks like a trapdoor in many respects. I don't know. I think that might be the case. Also, just going back down there to that to the flipper. There's also, there appears to be. Let me just get rid of that there. So there appears to be a shot there. There appears to be a shot there.
Yep.
Another one which sort of loops into there. And I wouldn't be surprised if you can hit that through there. Now, this is a very, very important shot, which I'm going to describe to you there, that last one. So let me just clear the page there. Let me
You're doing very well with technology.
I'm not bad, am I?
Yeah, it's
but yes, particularly considering I got interrupted. Okay. This section here at the top, I will zoom in a second. Basically, you're going to hit the shot up here. The ball is going to travel around here, behind this tower, and it will lock into there. At which point, just get rid of that and zoom in. There's a vertical up kicker, which is basically going to kick that up into here, and it will go into there and roll down the wire form to there and lock.
Right. Okay. So that's a ball lock.
That's a ball lock. That's another multi-ball in there. There's been rumors that the rocket, that the Russian rocket, is a mechanism. It's not, but it does move.
Because I was going to say to you, in the film, it kind of opens up 4 ways. It splits open.
That's not going to happen here. That's not happening. But this is more of a bash toy. Okay. So this will move when you hit it. But there's no motor. There's no mechanism in it. That's the point. Just here, you'll see three lights there, and there.
Yep.
And by the way, what I just said, you can tell that's the case because that's why it says lock under there. You lock it through there. So that's another multi-ball. That's a second multi-ball. What you also have here, that you can't see them, they're down at the moment. Where the 3 lights are, there are 3 drop targets, which is protecting this area.
So hence it being a bash toy. You get rid of the drop targets. Absolutely. And then you've got your bash toy.
For sure. For sure. Okay, so that's that there.
I like that top left-hand corner.
Nice. Well, it gets better, Spence. It gets better. Let me just tell you about this. So here's the really interesting, well, I say the really interesting. I think this is a great game already. Well, I'm not sure. Well, I guess you're not going to be able to backhand it because it won't have the power to get up there. So let's say we're going with the right flipper. And we're going to shoot all the way around here, and the ball's going to go around here and up there. Okay, that's what I want you to keep in mind at the moment. Okay, that's why I say that gate at the back. I think this thing here is only there I say only, might have another purpose, but I think the ball travels behind that.
Okay.
Okay.
So where does it go from there then? When it goes
Okay,
up
I'm gonna show you that now. So we go up here.
Yep.
This is what I was just showing you when I was zoomed out. It's gonna go up here.
It's going to have to be a hell of a shot to get it all the way up there.
Well, I don't know. And then it's gonna lock here.
Yep.
Okay. Now, just here, you've got Bond on a stick. Right.
Of course you have.
Sean Connery on a pole. Would you like to see my pole?
He's had a few in his time. I don't know whether he's had a pole, but we'll run with it.
Anyway, so basically, James Bond swings out from swinging Bond.
He's a swinger.
Swinging Bond, we call him. He swings out from the playfield. Okay. On this arm.
Have you got any footage of that?
I've got no footage of that. This arm will swing out and around to here. Okay. Now, at that point, while he's on the jetpack, it goes around here. He's carrying a ball.
So there's a magnetic lock on.
There's a magnetic lock. So he's carrying the ball with him when he travels to there. So this will hover above there. Now, the idea is this is basically a tank. We can see in this area there. Okay. This will, again, I believe, launch another multi-ball. As here's what happens. So Bond's arm, well, the arm of Bond, swinger Bond, with a jetpack. He travels with a jetpack. So by this point, Bond is hovering over this area.
Yep.
Okay. But the ball is still magnetized underneath him. What he wants to do is you need to drop the ball onto this target. Now, what makes the ball drop onto that target? I'll tell you. You need to hit this shot there.
Okay.
Okay. If you hit that shot, I'm just always conscious I'm not great with this pen thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? That shot there. What? What?
You crack on, son.
You know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, right.
Lovely arrow. Lovely arrow.
Thanks, mate.
That's all right.
Okay. You hit that, then Bond, Sean. I will drop my balls. So he's going to drop his ball onto there, and then I think that initiates another multi-ball, mate.
How many balls in that one do you think? Do you think it's just going to be a 2-ball multi-ball, or
I don't know that much. I don't know. Because in all honesty, the person that may or may not have played it's not that good a player.
Oh, somebody's actually played it.
I don't know. Possibly not. Possibly not.
Okay. They must know.
Very good. Very good. Anyway. So I think that seems like a really good mode. Obviously, you're going to, rather than it being a physical lock, that's going to have to be a virtual. It's obviously a multi-ball. It's going to be virtual lock. So it's going to.
I can see some text just below where your cursor is at the moment. It says villain modes. Now, what's the text on that ramp next to it? The other one that's got the trapdoor at the top of it. Is there a clue in there as to what that is?
Yes, it is.
What does it say?
Well, we may well have to look on a separate thing, Spence. However, I think
henchman.
I think yes, right. It does.
Okay.
So, and now if you start to look here, so there's your Bond girls.
What a lineup!
Beautiful. There's all your Bond girls.
Pussy galore.
Oh, I must be dreaming. Yeah. Here's your henchman, basically. Hold on, you've got here's the rocket that's split open, Spence.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
You were okay. So there's your henchman. That's your henchman.
Funny enough, I actually watched this film the other night. It was on telly.
What film? There's all the films. This is the point. Look, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball. Right. You only live twice. Diamonds.
I was thinking You Only Live Twice was the main theme of this because of the rocket at the back.
That's right. You did have an idea for a mode, which is you only shoot twice, didn't you?
That's a different game.
It's a different game. We'll trim the pampas grass later. So there you go. So I mean, there's quite a lot going on with this. Obviously, you've got the insider queue. I can't be bothered to talk about that, to be fair. But I mean, some really interesting areas of the playfield. I think you've got the slings. Are they going to be the arrangement? Are they going to be further apart? Are they going to be like a Godzilla flipper arrangement? Yeah, what's going on at the top of the playfield, for instance? Oh dear. Oh dear, I do. I don't. Actually, I don't
apologise.
apologise.
Don't
I've done.
apologise.
Someone said the other day, you've done too much apologising. You have. I don't apologise.
No, don't ever say sorry again.
I won't. I'm sorry, I won't. There you go. I think it looks a really, really cracking game.
I think it looks odd, and it's a bit of a dilemma really, because it looks like it's got some absolutely cracking shots in it, and I think you're right. The artwork is a little bit on the weak side.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that
we haven't seen the cabinet in that yet.
Have you seen the cabinet?
Nah, could say that.
Have you seen the cabinet?
I'll tell you what. While I'm doing it here,
yeah.
Let me. Everybody's seen the cabinet. To be fair, I've left it a little bit too late. I probably should have done this earlier on. Realistically, I don't. I can't. Do you know what? I'll show you the cabinets now, and then you can say, "Oh, nice."
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Hold on. That's not very good. Pictures. I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you on something else. Anyway, basically, Doctor No is the base level. That's the pro.
So we've got different themes.
Absolutely.
Talk to me. What?
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me.
So there's
Stud premium only £20,000. Talk to me.
So there's it's the same machine, different artwork or different theme across the
different
whole
artwork.
thing?
So I mean, they all have different artwork. You look at Godzilla, that's got different artwork on the premium to the pro to the LE. When you okay, so the base model, which is obviously the pro, that has it has yellow artwork and it's Doctor No.
Right.
Okay. And actually on the back glass it just says Doctor No.
Okay.
So and then on the premium it's You Only Live Twice, and it's blue. Basically the color of the cabinet's blue, the artwork. You may have seen a picture earlier when I showed you one with a little picture of the yellow helicopter on the side of the cabinet, pinball machine. I think there's probably, in fact, if we were to go onto here.
Oh, we're going to Pinball Info.
I think we've gone to Pinball Info, and we'll just have a little look here. I'm not sure how far we've got to scroll back. If you see the James Bond thread, let me know. Now, we don't know what the LE is yet.
So there's been nothing released on the LE?
There's been no leaks.
No leaks? Oh, there's been leaks?
There's no leaks on the
particularly
on the LE.
That's quite ironic, because you used to be a plumber.
I did indeed. I mean, you can see a few of the bits here which are just on. I mean, they're on Pinball Info. We're just trying to have a little look here to see if I can show you a little bit more. Okay, so there you've got. Well, there you go.
Oh wow,
there you go.
Oh, that really is almost they've picked out one of the films as a focus.
There you go. In fact, I wonder now if we can, by using our
the wonders of modern technology.
The wonders of modern technology. If we can stop sharing, if we can share, and then she'll have to disappear from it. You don't have to disappear. Share screen, and then we go Chrome tab. There, share. Hopefully,
that's quite a marked difference between cabinet designs, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not subtle.
So, so there's the Playfield there, which we've just seen. In fact, that one, Spence, is the pro, because if you see, if I think, it has got the wire form around it there. Bond, it hasn't got swinger bond on it.
Hasn't got the swinger bond.
Hasn't got the swinger bond on it. Okay, so there is You Only Live Twice.
Well, you only shoot twice.
You only shoot twice. And then you've got Doctor No, which is.
So, what's your favourite artwork between the two then?
Well, I think they both need ripping off, quite frankly. I think there's going to be a really good aftermarket of artwork. I think if someone wants to start commissioning a new back glass.
Yeah, the back glass is particularly weak. I'm the artwork. Certainly, Doctor No is better than You Only Live Twice, in my opinion. Personally, I think you could live with the Doctor No artwork. It's retro enough to be and focused enough to be, acceptable. The Only Live Twice artwork is not quite as good. Not quite.
I think if it's a keeper, if the game's a keeper, then I would have all new stuff done, and I would get a big Aston Martin on both sides, almost taking up the whole thing.
Yeah, I think
that was, and I would make the game more silver than anything else. Have silver armor. Either back glass would be. I don't know if someone can make a bespoke mirrored back glass.
I think there are people out there
that would be interesting. But I would definitely. I'd take all that artwork off the cabinet and I'd redo it in a sort of silver, classy.
Great artwork on that.
Pushing along.
No, actually, I was thinking, that the girl that dies when she's covered in gold in Goldfinger. That would be lovely, just laid out on a bed down the side there would be great because it's a very iconic.
They never made that film, The Girl That Dies Twice.
No, they.
I don't know why.
No, I don't know why either. But there's all those urban myths about they didn't leave a patch on her for her to skin to breathe and that sort of nonsense. But
really,
yeah.
Did she die?
No, she didn't die. She lived twice.
Absolutely, yes.
But that image is very iconic from the Bond films, and that would lend itself to the side artwork really nicely. But there's so much that I think, given a little bit of imagination, you could go to town on that machine. Yeah,
I think there's stuff to do, but we need to make sure that it fires and it shoots nicely. I mean, you've played Godzilla today. We'll discuss that on a different chinwag.
Yeah.
But you were saying you immediately said you prefer Godzilla to Deadpool.
Yes,
which you're lucky you're still in the house.
I know. It's you nearly asked me to leave. I think Godzilla is just sat there, which is why I'm looking that way. It's a great machine, and what I'm particularly impressed with is just when you think that you've got all the paths of all the balls, you'll then discover another way of firing it. It goes behind a flipper or around the other way, and almost does a reverse of what it was doing before. And I think it's a really, really flexible layout. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this Bond layout is going to be, looking at the shots, there's going to be quite a bit going on in there that is in the same vein as Godzilla, in as much as we're not sticking to a standard fan layout.
No. But I mean, Deadpool is not a standard fan layout. I think this is going to be. I don't think it's going to be as flowy as Godzilla, or even remotely close to it. But I'm fine with that because I like these shots. I do like them. They are different, and I think I've reached a point where, like with the old Steve Ritchie games, like with Star Trek, which we both know, right ramp feeds the right flipper, left ramp, and it's sort of doing that all the time. I think I reached a point with that where I don't mind some different things going on, really. I think this is great. I mean, this is Gomez, I believe, has not done a 3 flipper game since Corvette. So basically he tends not to do anything other than 2 flipper games. So it's going to be really interesting. As far as I can see, just going back to the game before we wrap up, you've got the scuba diver area, with your like hologram effects type thing on it. That's a mechanism there. Clearly it is, or a scuba. There's something going on there which is different. The DB5, that's clearly.
I think that's quite a nice little toy. I like the idea of ejecting the ball out of the roof into a cage and then running it back down to a flipper.
Yeah,
that's a really nice.
Absolutely. You've got a really nice ball lock feature with a bash toy with the rocket, which I think is really good as well. And then you've got this jetpack thing there, which is
the magnetic jetpack.
The magnetic jetpack, so I think there's a lot going on. I actually think this is a packed game. And don't get me wrong, it needs to be a packed game because this will be for numerous reasons, because Stern put prices up because of the I don't even know how the money markets work, but whatever, the price of the dollar against the pound,
it's fluctuating at the moment. It's the lowest it's been for a little while.
So
it'll probably go back up again, I should think.
But this is going to be about as expensive as you're going to pay for a game. So it needs to be good. And do you know what? I think it is. I'm excited about this. It's going
to be interesting. I mean, I know. I'm not going to harp on it for too long, but I was quite impressed with Godzilla, just how. The building and the bridge in it are great. They're great toys. But I was quite impressed how they weren't the focus of the game. There's still so much going on in there. It's going to be very interesting with Bond. When you showed me the pictures of the Pro and the premium. They've got different toys on there. They've got slightly different layout. One of them obviously hasn't got the jetpack and the wire form around the rocket at the back. It will be interesting to see how pivotal that is in the game and how much it changes.
I don't think it'd be much, as I've said. I think you can live with a lot of that stuff on that premium. But as I mentioned, the one thing I wouldn't want to live without is the Mecha Godzilla area with the turntable. I like that, but I think fair play to Stern for putting the Aston Martin in every model, including the base model. Because I think if there was one thing you wouldn't want to lose, it would be that, because it is farm.
Out of all the Bond films, I think there's two things in Bond films that really have captured the imagination over the years. Pushy and more pushy is the Aston Martin with the ejector seat. I think that really captured the public's imagination. And the other one would, of course, be the Lotus that turns into a submarine.
That's so cool.
So I think keeping the car in there is really, really important, because it's a real focus of engagement. It's an absolute core. I'd love to see some footage of the ejector seat working.
Would you now? Well, if you would like to see some footage of the ejector seat working, then you'll only have to wait a couple of days, because Stern will have the official release very, very soon.
I'm looking forward to that video.
In 2 days. If you would like to pre-order, and you're in the UK, if you'd like to pre-order a James Bond 007 Stern pinball machine, then check out the link in the pinned comments below. Go and check out Pinball Heaven and get in contact with them. They don't up until this point, up until Thursday, will not be a function on there to purchase a James Bond pinball machine. From Thursday, you will be able to, but there is plenty of contact details on there. Get in contact, get your name down, get yourself on the list. I think it's going to be a very, very popular game.
One more thing, LGBT.
Parched, absolutely. Absolutely parched. No good. Anyway, hopefully that sort of worked for you. Hopefully the resolution was good enough for you to see some of the shots. Hopefully, if some of you are in any doubt, then that's given you a little indication of what you may see and what you can expect to see when you play one. Thanks for tuning in.